Okay, what's up, cool people? Sorry for the wait. You know, I just wanted to send out a little tweet to let people know that I'm going live. Maybe could have slash should have also put that out on Facebook or whatever, but eh. Facebook is, not really as, I don't know, the expectation I don't think is there quite as much for whatever I would put on that page to be up to the minute or as recent at the very least. Anyway, okay, so it's as usual, we've got Bible study stuff, and we're using that to kind of bookend some video games. Well, a video game, specifically Digimon Survive. But hey, I'm doing a normal Thursday stream. It feels like it's been a while since I've done that, even if it hasn't really been that long. I know last week I had to do my live stream on Saturday instead because I was busy. Okay, real quick, water bottle is like overflowing. I hate that. Anyway. So, yeah. Last Thursday, I was busy. So I did the short stream on Saturday. And the previous week, I don't recall being that busy on Thursday, but I might have had other things going on. Maybe just did a short stream then as well. I don't know. Anyway. Point being, this should be a normal live stream. So, I guess we'll kind of get this thing going, and, yeah. So, of course, as I said, kicking it off with some Bible study. So, we've got Exodus 29 in line for us right now. And, yeah. So just for context, we've got Moses and really all the Israelites at Mount Sinai. Moses specifically is up on the mountain getting commands from God for, laws and just how the Israelites are supposed to do things moving forward. We got a few laws laid out first, and then there were instructions on building the tabernacle. And then last chapter, we got into all the priestly garments and, like, what those are, what they were used for, pretty much, and who would wear them. Namely Aaron and his sons. So now, looking at the, heading for the section, really for the whole chapter here, this is going to be the dedication of the priests, aka Aaron and his sons. So, let's get right into this. Exodus 29. This is the ceremony you must follow when you consecrate Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests. Take a young bull and 2 rams with no defects. Then, using choice wheat flour and no yeast, make loaves of bread, thin cakes mixed with olive oil, and wafers spread with oil. Place them all in a single basket and present them at the entrance of the tabernacle, along with the young bull and the 2 rams. So, sometimes the kind of offerings or whatever that they made were, just an animal, Sometimes they were just, grain, or they generally had different kinds of offerings and whatnot for different things. But in this case, it seems like there was going to be kind of a mix of multiple things, which would have made it, unique to the dedication of the priests and not as easily confused with other types of offerings and whatnot. But anyway, I haven't even gotten that far into it, so let's just move along and see what exactly is going to happen with these. I assume they're going to be offerings. Anyway, verse 4. Present Aaron and his sons at the entrance of the tabernacle, and wash them with water. Dress Aaron in his priestly garments, the tunic, the robe worn with the ephod itself, and the chest piece. Then wrap the decorative sash of the ephod around him. Place the turban on his head, and fasten the sacred medallion to the turban. Then anoint him by pouring the anointing oil over his head. Next present his sons, and dress them in their tunics. Wrap the sashes around the waists of Aaron and his sons, and put their special head coverings on them. Then the right to the priesthood will be theirs by law forever. In this way you will ordain Aaron and his sons. Okay, so I find it a little odd that it's talking about basically getting Aaron all dressed up, even putting the turban on him, and then it mentions pouring the anointing oil over his head. Like, the oil is going to get all over the turban and the clothing then, right? I mean, I guess it's oil, so maybe that's not a big problem. Definitely not as big a problem as it would be if, they were expecting to get blood on them or anything like that. But, yeah, so basically, Aaron and his sons are to put all of their priestly garments on before then being anointed and basically dedicated to the priesthood. Note about the tabernacle just says tent of meeting, which we've had that footnote in prior chapters. That was... So the Hebrew just says tent of meeting. I don't know if that's supposed to be like the translation of what would have been the Hebrew word tabernacle, or if tabernacle was like another word or term used later on. I don't know. Anyway. But so this was all taking place at the entrance of the tabernacle. Still haven't quite figured out what's going on with the young bull, 2 rams, and all the grain offerings. But anyway, so they've got all this stuff, and the soon-to-be priests themselves ready to go at the entrance to the tabernacle. Then we move on to verse 10. Bring the young bull to the entrance of the tabernacle, where Aaron and his sons will lay their hands on its head. Then slaughter the bull in the Lord's presence at the entrance of the tabernacle. Put some of its blood on the horns of the altar with your finger, and pour out the rest at the base of the altar. Take all the fat around the internal organs, the long lobe of the liver, and the 2 kidneys and the fat around them, and burn it all on the altar. Then take the rest of the bull, including its hide, meat, and dung, and burn it outside the camp as a sin offering. Okay, so sin offering probably just to, in a sense, like, purify the priests or, like, you know, make an atonement sacrifice for their sins, whatever they might be, before becoming priests. I'm assuming that's kind of the idea there. Because you don't want them to go into the priesthood, as sinful or like with guilt still on them, so to speak, or anything like that. The other details are, I mean, we just read it there. I don't think I need to do too much explaining of those. So, then we move on to verse 15. Next, Aaron and his sons must lay their hands on the head of one of the rams. Then slaughter the ram and splatter its blood against all sides of the altar. Cut the ram into 2 pieces and wash off the internal organs and the legs. Set them alongside the head and the other pieces of the body. Then burn the entire animal on the altar. This is a burnt offering to the Lord. It is a pleasing aroma, a special gift presented to the Lord. So at this point, we've had already kind of 2 different types of offerings involved in this process. We had the bull that was used for the sin offering. I'm not quite sure what the other internal organs were for that were burned on the altar, but the rest of that was used as a sin offering. And then now we've got just another not sin based burnt offering, which was, sometimes done just as well. See, because what my mind just went to, I realized there's also something called a goodwill offering, which at times was very similar to what was just described, but not always. So, I guess burnt offerings were more specifically just to kind of be like, hey, praise God, yay. Whereas goodwill offerings might specifically have been for, seeking God's favor with particular things that were about to happen or whatever. But so we got a sin offering and a burnt offering so far. Wonder if there's going to be any more, because we still have one more ram to go, and then all of the grain stuff. But, yeah. Moving on to verse 19. Now take the other ram and have Aaron and his sons lay their hands on its head. Then slaughter it and apply some of its blood to the right earlobes of Aaron and his sons. Also put it on the thumbs of their right hands and the big toes of their right feet. Splatter the rest of the blood against all sides of the altar. Then take some of the blood from the altar and some of the anointing oil and sprinkle it on Aaron and his sons and on their garments. In this way, they and their garments will be set apart as holy. Okay, so actually, at this point, we've got some of the blood being put specifically on Aaron and his sons. All the blood so far has just been going on or around the altar, I think. Yeah. Maybe different spots on the altar, but still all on the altar. But now we've got some going on basically the entire right, well, not the entire right side, but all the places that it's going are on the right side. So right earlobe, right thumb, and right big toe. And then they also got got some of the blood from the altar along with the anointing oil, which I think they were already anointed with, but that was just poured on them. This was going to be like a sprinkling of like that mixture, I guess. So anyway, moving on to verse 22, I guess. Since this is the ram for the ordination of Aaron and his sons, take the fat of the ram, including the fat of the broad tail, the fat around the internal organs, the long lobe of the liver, and the 2 kidneys and the fat around them, along with the right thigh. Then take 1 round loaf of bread, 1 thin cake mixed with olive oil, and 1 wafer from the basket of bread without yeast that was placed in the Lord's presence. Put all these in the hands of Aaron and his sons, to be lifted up as a special offering to the Lord. Afterward, take the various breads from their hands and burn them on the altar along with the burnt offering. It is a pleasing aroma to the Lord, a special gift for him. Then take the breast of Aaron's ordination ram and lift it up in the Lord's presence as a special offering to him. Then keep it as your own portion. So that last part, a lot of times when, sacrifices or offerings were made, a portion of those would go to the priests. I mean, it was part of their priestly duties to, help kind of officiate, oversee, and perform these sacrifices for these offerings. So, almost like getting paid on commission, they would, get oftentimes like a portion of the offerings of the sacrifices and whatnot for their own, to have sort of as their income, almost their means of, having food and things to live off of. But in this case, so the other stuff that happened to this second ram sounds a lot like what happened to the bull at first, minus the sin offering part of that. And so then there was a bunch of this that was kind of designated as, specifically an offering to the Lord, but some of it was kept as just a portion. Well, I guess what was left was kept for Moses' portion, if I read that right. Anyway, then we get into verse 27. I'm not doing a whole lot of commentary, because I can't say I'm super familiar with all these practices and would be able to add a whole lot of insight, but also B, not exactly a short chapter. So, verse 27. Set aside the portions of the ordination ram that belong to Aaron and his sons. This includes the breast and the thigh that were lifted up before the Lord as a special offering. In the future, whenever the people of Israel lift up a peace offering, a portion of it must be set aside for Aaron and his descendants. This is their permanent right, and it is a sacred offering from the Israelites to the Lord. I'll get back into that later. Aaron's sacred garments must be preserved for his descendants who succeed him, and they will wear them when they are anointed and ordained. The descendant who succeeds him as high priest will wear these clothes for 7 days as he ministers in the tabernacle and the holy place. So is that just kind of saying that was like the priestly work shift, so to speak? The high priest's work shift? I don't know. Anyway. So I mentioned before about portions of the offerings going to the priests, that this section in here kind of says that as well. So it doesn't say specifically which portion is supposed to be set aside, but I would assume it's probably either the portion that was set aside for Moses in this case, or like the portions that were set aside for Aaron and his sons in this instance. And it does also hint at, hey, sorry. Oh, man. Does also hint at, hey, Aaron won't be high priest forever. Eventually he's going to die, so whoever succeeds him has to wear those particular garments that Aaron is wearing. Anyway, moving on to verse 31. Yeah. Take the ram used in the ordination ceremony and boil its meat in a sacred place. Then Aaron and his sons will eat this meat, along with the bread in the basket, at the tabernacle entrance. They alone may eat the meat and bread used for their purification. In the ordination ceremony. Their purification in the ordination ceremony. No one else may eat them, for these things are set apart and holy. If any of the ordination meat or bread remains until the morning, it must be burned. It may not be eaten, for it is holy. Okay, so there was some of this set aside to essentially, make up a small feast, you might say, for Aaron and his sons. And then I guess in the future, any other priests that would be ordained in such a way, part of the offering that is for their dedication, they also end up consuming because it's already set aside for them. So they're the only ones who really have any right to it. Footnote here. So purification could be swapped out for atonement, possibly. So again, part of the purpose of all this sacrifice, all these things in the dedication ceremony was to purify and set aside the priests as special and, as people who were at least entering into the priesthood cleansed and purified. Okay, verse 35. After I check chat. This is how you will ordain Aaron and his sons to their offices, just as I have commanded you. The ordination ceremony will go on for 7 days. Each day you must sacrifice a young bull as a sin offering to purify them, making them right with the Lord. Afterward, cleanse the altar by purifying it, making it holy by anointing it with oil. Purify the altar and consecrate it every day for 7 days. After that, the altar will be absolutely holy, and whatever touches it will become holy. So, the tradition went that there were multiple days of this, in part because of the level of purification wanted, you might say. I mean, because animals end up being sacrificed pretty regularly for just, forgiving sins and that kind of stuff. But the idea was to more than just, forgive the sins and make up for them for Aaron and his sons, and then in the future for other priests. The idea was to actually have them completely, set aside, purified, holy. Because, like, while a lot of atonement sacrifices were just, with a particular sin or set of sins in mind, we're flawed people. We do stuff we're not supposed to all the time. Sin is part of our human nature, and so part of this idea was possibly even to like dig deep down into that underlying sin nature and attempt to purify even that out of the priests. While it wasn't necessarily like, oh yeah, you're completely holy and you're basically never going to sin ever again, at least as they entered the priesthood, there was this idea that even completely down to their core and their very nature, that they were totally purified. At least that's kind of my assumption, based on just how long this went on and, the thoroughness of it all. Okay, footnotes. Could be to make atonement instead of making them right with the Lord. Similar idea. Cleanse the altar by purifying it, or by making atonement for it. So, I think those footnotes are just like, hey, here's what we decided to do with this translation, here's what we decided to do in this version as we're translating it. There's other possibilities for the original Hebrew here, though. So, just so you know, this is also like the way it could be said, deriving from the original Hebrew. Anyway, okay. Going to move on to verse 38 and maybe go all the way through because this is taking a while. These are the sacrifices you are to offer regularly on the altar. Each day offer 2 lambs that are a year old, one in the morning and the other in the evening. With one of them, offer 2 quarts of choice flour mixed with 1 quart of pure oil of pressed olives. Also offer 1 quart of wine as a liquid offering. Offer the other lamb in the evening, along with the same offerings of flour and wine as in the morning. It will be a pleasing aroma, a special gift presented to the Lord. Okay, so not only was there a young bull each day and the altar cleansing each day, but there was these offerings of lambs every day as well. So basically, everything that was described earlier on in detail, it's like, okay, do that every day throughout the priest dedication ceremony. Okay, now we're really going to wrap it up. Verse 42. These burnt offerings are to be made each day from generation to generation. Offer them in the Lord's presence at the tabernacle entrance. There I will meet with you and speak with you. I will meet the people of Israel there, in the place made holy by my glorious presence. Yes, I will consecrate the tabernacle and the altar, and I will consecrate Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests. Then I will live among the people of Israel and be their God, and they will know that I am the Lord their God. I am the one who brought them out of the land of Egypt, so that I could live among them. I am the Lord their God. I just realized I missed a footnote regarding the wine. Hebrew says 1/10 of an ephah. Anyway, so it's just giving the official Hebrew for the measurements of the flour, the wine, and the oil. Anyway, so when it talks about, in this case, the presence of God being there with his people, I mean, obviously God is everywhere, so God was with them in a sense all along. But the idea, I think, is to get back to the level of communion with God that kind of goes back to Garden of Eden type of thing, where it was like God was there, his presence could be like felt, and it was active. And I mean, not that God's presence isn't active these days, but I think you kind of get my point. It's, about deeper communion with God, not just a like, oh yeah, God's here, his presence is everywhere, so of course he's here. This is like, no, we are living with God in his presence. And, we should be acting as such. And when we're not, we'll do these offerings to make things right with God. And the priest would be the ones performing those offerings and sacrifices. And so, in order to set them aside and, purify them so they can sort of have that privilege, that's what this whole chapter was about. Just that whole dedication, purifying ceremony thing. But anyway, I guess that about wraps up things for Exodus 29. Alrighty. Need another drink. Okay. So, as per the usual, I will shift over to gaming setup, do some of that, and then after the gaming, I'll probably come back to this and wrap things up with more Bible study for, with the next chapter of Exodus. But anyway, gotta shift things over in the setup, so give me just a minute here. Okay, here we are, back with Digimon Survive. And, yeah. So in case you've missed events up to this point, well, I guess I'll just summarize recent events. So our main group of people here found themselves in a totally different world, presumably, And they've got, you know, their Digimon partners here. Some of them are getting along pretty well, others a bit less so. But anyway, the professor who was with them at first has disappeared. Possibly even died. I mean, he fell off the side of a dam. So, yeah, we're not quite sure what's going on with him. These are two people who we found, or who, not found, but who we met up with after coming into this world. And, I'm not going to say too much else because I don't want to give too many things away. But, yeah. So, anyway, might want to actually get into the main thrust of things now. Okay, so, we have made it to part 3, basically day 3 of the story, and, we're kind of at a decision-making point now. Some people in the group want to just, like, kind of hunker down and stay put, at least for the most part, because they have supplies to get by, and they're hoping to just have a rescue party come and get them. They also don't want to risk venturing out and possibly, you know, finding themselves in trouble or worse, death. But other people are like, well, we can't count on people coming to save us. We need to go out and see if we can find a way out of here. Basically, find a way to our own rescue. So, right now, I'm supposed to be talking with people and, seeing what they think, I guess. Also, at the beginning of this part, we saw a bit of what happened with Kaito here and his sister Mew. They seemingly have gotten separated from each other. They were already separate from the rest of the group, so, hope they're alright. But, yeah. Anyway. Okay. Let's go talk to some people. Might as well start at the top of the list with Aoi. It's Aoi. Should I try talking to her? Yes, you should. But, before talking with her, I'm just gonna see... Aoi's really important to everyone, huh? Yeah, that's probably why she's so concerned about staying safe and works so hard for us. Well, I'm gonna work harder for everyone else, too. Yeah, let's both try and be more like Aoi. Hey, no fair. I want to be more like her, too. I'm right here, you know. She's probably like, gee, guys, I didn't know you felt that way. Anyway. Aoi, is something wrong? You don't look so good. No, I'm okay. Just a little tired, that's all. I'm glad we found Saki and the others, but seeing what happened to the professor and that horrible fog, it feels like we've been through a lot in an awfully short time. I know exactly how Aoi feels. And it's not like I can tell her to just get over it. Well, don't be too hard on yourself. If you're tired, you should rest. Agumon's right, Aoi. Do you want to lie down? Is there anything I can do for you? Thank you, both of you. Actually, Labramon, there is something you could do. No problem. What is it? Would you let me pet your tail? What? I've wanted to this whole time. It looks so warm and soft. I bet it's super fluffy. Really? I don't know. You don't want me to? Okay. Just be gentle with it, okay? Of course. You know I will. Thanks, Labramon. Just watching them. Aoi grinning while Labramon looks so conflicted. It's comforting. Okay, now let's legit talk to Aoi. Alright. Oh, Aoi. Takuma? Sorry about earlier. No, I shouldn't have gotten so flustered. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. It's fine. Besides, given the circumstances, we're all a bit on edge right now. Thank you, Takuma. That was very encouraging. I approve. Thanks. Well, now that I've run into Aoi, I might as well get her take on things. Where should I start? So, this is pretty much just going to be getting her sense of all these things. The main conversation, of course, was around what we should do next. But really, you kind of start with... Really, I think it's best overall to probably start with how they're feeling. Well, or maybe you start with what's going on, then ask how they feel about it, get their view on the overall situation, and from that, establish, okay, what's our next move? I think it'll let me do all those, if I'm remembering right from my first playthrough, but we'll see. So, what do you think's actually going on right now? I'm not really sure. I can't wrap my head around any of this. Sorry, I know that's a bad answer. It's like how I always blank out on tough questions. I know I ought to be able to force myself to think, but it's easier said than done. Aoi tends to be like your typical honor student, but she can be really indecisive. Yeah, so you can say that there's still more, and continue asking things. So how do you feel about it? Well, I'm scared, worried, and pretty shaken up. Honestly, with the professor gone, I'm having a hard time staying calm. I know I need to relax more, but... Okay. I don't know for sure if there's a certain, like, things you should or shouldn't ask under these circumstances, but I'm probably just going to end up asking everybody all of those things. Anyway, it's hard to know what to make of it. After all, we're just kids with nothing to go on. I think the best thing to do is to try and stay safe until help arrives. So then you think our next move... Well, so what do you think our next move should be? Well, we don't know how long our supplies and clothing will last. For now, I think we should focus on our basic needs. You're always so practical, Aoi. Sometimes it feels like you're our mom. Stop it. I'm just a worrywart, that's all. Okay, well, affinity up. Talking to you calmed me down a little bit. Thanks, Takuma. No problem. Same here. We should hear everyone's take on the situation anyways. I wish we could even contact someone instead of getting those random jarbled messages. I know. It'd be great if we could even get a signal. Get a signal, you say? Anyway. Alrighty. Oh, so she's gonna remain there. Then I should probably go back and just... Well... I was thinking I would check on things with the camera, but that's gonna take a really long time if I do that for everybody. Okay, next. Rio. I bet you I have an idea of what he'll say, but... Oh, it's Rio. He looks a bit worried. I never really get much of anything out of Kunamon because it's just combinations of cues. Hold up. Okay. Yeah, I still have no idea what you're saying. Sorry, Kunamon. Okay. You're apologizing? What an idiot. Hey, don't make fun of me. Kunamon might understand exactly what I'm saying. What? Like anyone's listening to what you have to say. Yeah. Nobody's listening. Huh? Rio, what are you talking about? Q. Yeah, right. Not a chance. You, me, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Q. I don't know. Yes, that's it. All in my head. That's all this is. Agumon? Do you think Rio is actually talking with Kunamon? That's what it looks like, but I don't know if Rio realizes what's happening. Q. Shut up, loser. I wonder what Kunamon is saying. Somehow I don't think Rio is going to tell me. I don't know if Agumon... Well, yeah, the Agumon interaction has to be a little different than it was with Aoi. Wait, Agumon, you can understand what Kunamon says, right? Kinda? Q. That means something like, Ryo's not doing so well, and I'm worried about him. Right, okay. I kinda got that impression myself. Still, even if I can't tell what Kunamon is saying, you guys get it, right? I don't know. Probably some of us do, but others don't. Huh. Must be tough not being able to communicate. I think he's saying thank you? But I don't get why. Oh, well, you're welcome, Kunamon. QQE. I realize I kind of go in and out with, you know, saying Kunamon's dialogue. Anyway. Alright, let's talk to Rio. No. Yes, that's it. Rio? Are you feeling okay? What's up? Who are you talking to? There's nobody there. Q. Seriously, Rio, are you sure you're okay? Shut up. It's all over anyway. It's over for us. Yeah. That's why. Yes, she's coming for me. It's no use. He won't even look at me. I hope this is just him getting flustered or experiencing some temporary form of shock. Like, what do you do when somebody gets like this? Leave them alone? It feels wrong. Don't know how this is gonna turn out, but let's see if we can actually get a rise out of him. I can't just leave him like this. It might be hard, but I want to get through to him. Listen, Rio, you really shouldn't be off on your own. Why not stay in the cafeteria? Well, his affinity went up. Let go of me. We're all screwed anyway, no matter what we do. That's not true. If we all work together, I'm sure we'll be okay. Besides, we've got Agumon, Kunamon, and the others. They'll help keep us safe. You got that right. Q. No! I'm telling you, none of that's gonna change anything. It doesn't matter what we do. We're just gonna die. And in that case... Rio? Yeah. Oh, I hate this. I hate it, hate it, hate it. Help me. Save me. And then he goes between crying and laughing. Okay. Yeah, something's not right in his head. He's not looking at me again. I'm not sure I'll be able to talk with him anymore. It's all over. Sorry, it's over. It's all over. We're done for. Finished. Completely screwed. Q. I'm worried about Rio, but I think I'll leave him to Kunamon for now. Why don't we go back to the others, Agumon? Sure. Okay, anyway. Real quick, gonna save. I'll just keep saving over this one, I guess. Alright, well, we've talked to 2 people so far. See, there's no affinity thing with Haru and Miyuki, so, like, I kind of want to save them for last. Minoru, what's that guy doing? Okay. This is already going quite a while. I think I'm possibly gonna skip the optional interactions until I finish up this, like, free action period or whatever the heck it's called. Okay, Minoru. Oh, hey, Minoru. Didn't expect to find you here. You seem down. I think you will find he is merely calm rather than down. Isn't that so, Minoru? Yeah, I just needed to clear my head. Everyone is so divided. Not that I'm exactly the most cooperative guy myself. Really? You get along with everyone, Minoru. Heh. The truth is, I've got a rotten personality. I get along just to get by. It's nothing to be proud of. I can talk a good game, but that doesn't help much with all these monsters. Not at all. Minoru's not usually this negative. Maybe it'll help if I let him talk about what's on his mind. Alright, well, let's start the cycle like we did with Aoi. So, what do you think's actually going on right now? It beats me. Kind of feels like we're in some weird kind of sci-fi story, though. Definitely the sort of thing you'd only expect to see in fiction. Blech. But there's no use crying about it, right? Might as well enjoy it. You could live your whole life and never see anything like this, and it's happening now. You sure have an interesting way of looking at things. Sci-fi? Fiction? What are those? I too am uncertain. But from how Minoru speaks of them, they must be enjoyable. Then I bet I'd like them. How you feeling, Minoru? Oh, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not depressed or anything. I'm actually pretty excited. Can't wait to see what happens next. What do you make of our current situation, Minoru? This all seems like fun to you? I'm being optimistic, it's true. But we can't act like this is some funeral all the time. That's why I want to be a little upbeat, you know? Yeah, it's not like Minoru's oblivious, but he's trying to stay fired up. As for our situation, here's what I think. We've been thrown into another dimension. At first I thought we might be in the future, but that doesn't make any sense. And this isn't some movie set either. We talked about that. It's probably the least realistic answer, but it might just be the truth. So think about it. If we accept that this is what happened, how did we get here? And since we made it here somehow, there's got to be a way back, right? Yeah, you're right. That makes a lot of sense. Good thinking, Minoru. Very cool and level-headed of you. Amazing, Minoru. I know, right? And then there's this screwed up message. I bet it's the key to getting out of here. What, all this nonsense? I don't know. You sure about that? Hey, I'm just saying, it might be a clue or something. Gotta turn over every stone. Anyway, yeah, we shouldn't give up just yet. I guess not. You sure are something else, Minoru. Might as well move on to the last question. So, what do you think our next move should be? Adventure, of course. Let's go adventuring. We've got monster partners backing us up. We ought to get out there and explore this place. There's no point just sitting around. That's quite the approach. Right? I'll totally make it big someday. Minoru's kidding around, but I can still hear the trembling in his voice. So that's what I've been thinking. Was it any help? It was a big help, thanks. Of course, we'll need to get everyone's opinion before we settle anything. Yeah, I know. Good luck thinking up something that'll get us all on the same page. Get us all on the same page, huh? Minoru can seem thoughtless, but he really does care. Okay. Yeah, this is taking quite a while. I need to try and speed things up a bit. Or, need is a strong word. But I think I should. You know, we haven't really been properly introduced yet. That's true. Hi, I'm Agumon. Nice to meet you. And I'm Takuma. I'm Floramon, Saki's partner. Pleased to meet you. I'm Lopmon. I'm, Shuji's partner, I guess. I take it we're all on the same side, then? Of course. Well, I'm more on Saki's side. If she ever leaves, I'm going with her. Well, you sure don't beat around the bush. She doesn't seem bad, though, and she helped protect those two. Man. Naturally, Saki's very special. Yeah, I care a lot about Shuji, too. Got it. Well, it's nice to meet you both. Okay. Oh, so there's no talking with Saki option? Huh. Okay. Then talk to Shuji I shall. Professor, what should I do? Shuji, stop that, would you? All that talking to the professor is driving me crazy. But Saki, aren't you sad? He was so good to us, and then he was gone. That's why I'm telling you to stop. Because I can't help thinking about what happened. The professor saved me too. He was very nice to me. And then, when I think about what happened, I'm sorry. Man, they're both so sad. Clearly they're upset about what happened to the professor. I mean, obviously you should try to cheer up both of them. Right? Come on, you two. Don't get so down. That's not what the professor would want, is it? You're right. It's not. And I mean, I know that, but still. Come on. How long are you two going to mope around? We were both so fired up before. Sorry, you were both so fired up before. Have you stopped caring about whether we stay here or go exploring? No, wait. Don't bring that up. You think I've stopped caring? I've been saying we should go explore this whole time. What? You know I can't allow something so dangerous. I can't believe you. How can you be so stubborn? I'm the oldest one here. It's my responsibility. Well, I'm a lot more concerned about getting home than I am about your responsibility. No, now they're fighting again. You see, this is what I was afraid was going to happen. Well, at least they're both fired up again. So, I take it neither one of you has changed their mind. That's right. We're going exploring. No, you've got it backwards. We're staying right here. We're going. We're staying. I guess I'll come back again later. Keep it friendly. My throat is not liking this. I gotta be honest. Okay. Nobody went off anywhere else. Although they have overall changed locations a bit. Also, neither affinity went up with Saki or Shuji. Maybe talking to them individually will help with that? Yeah, I guess I'll start with Shuji. It's Shuji. What's he doing? Hello. There's a thing. Alright, I'm gonna have to tone down my, voice acting, if you want to call it that. Huh? Shuji? What are you doing out here? Oh, I thought maybe I could find some food. Nuts or wild vegetables or something. But we've still got plenty of food. And I thought you were against exploration. I am, but I wanted to do something to help out. Besides, I can always run to safety from here. And having more food can't hurt. It's not like there's anything else I can do to contribute. Well, I don't think that's true. He's doing his best, I know that. And I can appreciate that he has a strong sense of responsibility, but this seems like a waste of energy. Not that I could come right out and say that. I guess I could try and help? It's gotta be hard to do all on your own. Here, let me help you. No, I got this. You've got other stuff to do, don't you? Leave this to me. Oops, that backfired. By the way, Takuma, did you get one of these garbled messages as well? Oh yeah, you too, Shuji? That's right. I can't call, but illegible messages like that get through just fine. It's so weird. How in the world can this be happening? Shuji? Oh, Lopmon, where have you been? I went to get some nuts. Wow, look at all those. Great job. I never asked you to do that. You keep away from me. I'm sorry. Poor Lopmon. I realize Shuji is scared of Lopmon, but this just seems cruel. Ugh. Yeah. I really don't like how that went down. But okay, guess I gotta live with it. That's one of those interactions I would probably go back and try to redo in a more casual, not public playthrough. Just to try and get the affinity up or something. Oh, it's Saki. I wonder if she's gotten used to this place. Anything to find? No, okay. Oh, Takuma. Come here, would you? I could use someone else's opinion. Hey, what about me? Oh, right. Sorry. It's funny, though. Talking with you feels like talking to myself, Floramon. It's weird. What's that supposed to mean? I don't mind joining you, but are you sure you don't want someone else? I'd take anyone at this point. Maybe you could tell, but I get lonely pretty easily. I feel like a lot of girls are like that. I get lonely easily too. Does that mean I'm a girl? No, you don't seem much like a girl to me, Agumon. Still, Aoi told me she likes reading by herself, so maybe she doesn't get lonely? Huh, speaking of lonely, how did Haru and Miyuki survive here all alone for so long? It's weird, because even if it's a little different, sitting here in the cafeteria, eating lunch like this, it makes me feel like it's all been a bad dream. Wouldn't that be nice? Then the professor wouldn't have... It seems like Saki is still upset about the professor. Maybe I'd better leave her alone. Hey, talk to me about something, would you? Huh? That'll help get my mind off things. Oh, okay, I guess if she wants to talk, we should. Right. So, what do you think? So what do you think's actually going on right now? How should I know? Yeah, I hear you on that one. Whatever happens is gonna happen. What matters is how we act when it happens, right? You know, there's a surprising amount of insight to be had from some of these interactions. So, how does all this make you feel? I don't know. So much crazy stuff has happened. I feel like I'm about to explode. To be honest, this is all way too much for me to deal with. I'm really not sure how to react. The best I can do is just not think about it at all. If I'm sad, I'll cry. If I'm scared, I'll scream. That's good enough for me. Sure. I can certainly understand how Saki feels. We're all basically in the same boat, myself included. If I let myself dwell on things, I'd be frozen with terror. So I hold on to hope. I need to keep pushing forward. Otherwise, I might end up like Ryo. Did I lose you? Oh, sorry. There's a lot on my mind. I get it. Honestly, if I weren't careful, I think I'd go to pieces. How's our situation? Look, I don't really know about our current situation, but here's my take. Remember what Mew said about the curse when we first met? Yeah? I think that was true. You, think so? Could that really be true? Creatures we've never seen before? Strange, jumbled messages? Sounds like a curse to me. Oh, you got one of those messages too, huh? They are kind of creepy, aren't they? At least everyone's here. If it were just me, well, I'd tear up just thinking about it. And might as well go for the whole shebang. What's our next move? I don't really know. Pass. I'll leave the thinking to you and Aoi. Me? Why me? What do you mean? Don't you usually make the final call? Do I? Maybe you're right. Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts. It was helpful. Good. It helped take my mind off things too. Thanks, Takuma. Alright, I'd better get going. Sure thing. Good luck. Make sure you take the time to talk to everyone. Will do. See you later. Okay. So I got her affinity up, but not Shuji's. Like, dang it. I really... I could talk to him again, but it wouldn't really make much difference. Yeah. At least not on the affinity front. Gonna save real quick. Good grief. I've only used up half of my action, or my moves or whatever. I was gonna say action points. I've only used up half of my moves, and we're at like half an hour for this recording. Alright, back to Ryo. Let's, I guess, see what he thinks. Oh, it's Ryo. He looks a bit worried. And it's a new move. So, anyway. Was I seeing things? No, that can't be it. Then we're actually... Ryo? What's up? Shut up. Get lost, would you? Hey, that was an actual response. QQ. Are you feeling better now? What do you mean better? You act like there's something wrong with me. Well, look, in a way, I feel like there's something wrong with me, too. I think you could say that about all of us. Hey, if you got nothing to say, get lost. I thought he'd lost it earlier, but now he's talking with me just fine. What kind of state is he in right now? Alright, let's see what he thinks. Shut up. Whatever's happening, it doesn't matter. Well, he may be talking, but I see he's as prickly as ever. Shut up. It doesn't matter what you say. I can certainly understand how Ryo feels right. He must be worried sick, and we're all just kids. There's nobody for him to rely on. Look, you're just a stupid brat, so you probably don't get it, but our situation is... Damn it. We're so screwed. Yeah, that's it. This has to be the afterlife. He's not looking at me anymore. Guess he's back in his own world. I might as well ask him the last thing, see what happens. Okay, what do you think we should do next? I'm telling you, who cares? Whatever we do, we're just gonna die. Well, I can only speak for myself, but I'm not planning on dying here. Sure, we'll all die someday, but that's way in the future, when we're old men and women. That's not what I'm talking about. You idiot. Well, at least I got to talk with him. He'll be okay, right? Is Ryo really alright? I'm worried. Q. I don't know how you... I know how you feel, but I'm not sure what to do either. That's it. It must be. I wasn't seeing things. They had to be ghosts. Yes, and that must mean we're ghosts too. Yeah. What should we do with Ryo? I can't just leave him like this. Yeah, but I'm not sure you're gonna get much more out of him. Okay. More talking with Aoi and or Minoru. This is gonna be a long episode. It's Minoru and Aoi. Maybe I should talk to them. Hold up, Agumon has one. Huh. But I'll talk with Minoru and Aoi first. Huh? Falcomon, where? Minoru, what's wrong? We were together just a second ago, but now Falcomon's gone. Where'd he go? To the bathroom? Agumon might run off without saying anything, but Falcomon would let you know, right? He sure would. Still, this is Falcomon we're talking about. I'm not worried. What? No, I wanted to... wanted to try and talk with Aoi too, but I guess that was sort of like a trigger event, so to speak, for something else happen. Hello. Big bandage. Okay. Put that away. Talk with Minoru again. Or, well, hold up. I mean, I've already got affinity with Aoi and Minoru in the 20s. Ryo's is 36. I should probably focus more on Saki and Shuji. So, assuming I can find them... Let me... Never mind. I can't find them. I guess I'll just talk with Minoru. Hey Takuma, have you seen Falcomon anywhere? I haven't, no. Don't tell me he's been gone this whole time. That's right. At first I figured he'd be right back, so I wasn't too worried. But now that he's been gone so long, I'm starting to think maybe something happened. Huh? That's weird. I seem to have lost track of Agumon, too. Yeah, I don't see him anywhere. And you don't know where he went? Beats me. Knowing Agumon, though, I doubt he'd go far. Right. Maybe I just need to wait and Falcomon will come back, too. He says that, but I can tell that he's still worried about Falcomon. At least he's not crazy enough to go out looking on his own, without Falcomon. Minoru would definitely get lost out there. Still, I wish I could reassure him. I'll keep an eye out. Well, I'll be sure to keep an eye out. I am going all around the school anyway. That'd be great. Thanks, man. Oh, but don't let it distract you from talking to everyone. Besides, you never know. He might come back on his own. Right, got it. Anyway, I'll keep waiting for a little while longer. Cool. I'll be sure to send him your way if I see him. Great, thanks. Okay. And now... there's Kunamon in the woods by the school. And there's Lopmon and Floramon over this way. So now we've got Digimon to talk to and not the people. Actually, maybe I shouldn't get into this. This might actually be a decent break point, because then this will probably finish up my remaining moves, and knowing how this game works, it'll just roll right into the next story event. So yeah, let me push pause here for a sec, and then, you know, maybe in a little bit I'll actually progress things again. Okay, so live stream watchers, that gives me a decent opportunity to do a little bit extra here and explore some of these areas where there is nobody, like person or Digimon. So I'm kind of gonna scout for possible camera things. Also, how many Digimon do I have? Right. I guess that's... in terms of wild Digimon, I think that's like the bare minimum of what I need. But I won't say too much, because I don't want to, like, you know, ruin anything. Don't want to spoil anything coming up later in the game. Because this is still a fairly new game, and there might be a good number of people who don't know what happens in the storyline. Okay, there's a thing. Got a salve pack, or salve, I mean, how does one pronounce that anyway? Of course, I suppose I could look it up in theory. That actually has me curious. What does the dictionary say is the pronunciation? So, I mean, at least going by a Google search, it's pronounced salve, which I always found odd that there's an L in there, but Whatever. Probably some, like... Probably a derivative of some other language, like maybe French. Anyway. Okay. So then it's final. I will be pronouncing that Sav from now on. Okay. Checking out the empty places. I say empty, just meaning, you know, devoid of characters. Hold up. There's something else. Ah, it's one of those things. Okay. I'm not gonna read it, but now I know I have it. It's one of those little special collecting thingamajigs. Yeah, these things. So obviously, if you collect a whole set, you get a special thing down here. But anyway. Yeah. What do I have equipped? Do I even have equipment on? Yes, I do. Okay. With no extras right now for the wild Digimon. Okay, no hidden stuff. Well, there might be something hidden, but there's no, like, you know, perspective snap point. Okay. I guess now we're back to actually progressing things. Okay. Oh, geez, what happened? Oh, probably because I hadn't clicked, I tried doing the keyboard shortcut to start recording, but I think the last window I had clicked was the stream chat window, so I think it just refreshed that instead of starting the recording. Alright, anyway, so we're, I guess, kind of wrapping up, getting everyone's perspective on whether to explore or not. But in the midst of that, all the Digimon seem to have kind of gone off separate from their partners. It's Lotmon, but Shuji's nowhere to be seen. Huh? Lotmon? What are you doing here? Are you by yourself? Yeah. Where's Shuji? I tried calling for him, but he won't answer me. Oh. Sounds like you've got problems of your own. You know, Agumon's been missing for a while now, too. Where did everybody go? Takuma. How do you feel about us? Huh? You mean about you, Agumon, and the others? Right. I mean, I think on the whole they've been... Oh, also, this is one of those karma deciding things. I would not pick strange creatures. Strong and cool, kinda, but more so, trusty partners. So even if that wasn't my default, I'd still probably go with that choice. You guys are trustworthy partners. That's what I think. You're always there to help when we're having a hard time. You're like our monster saviors. It's all thanks to you that we're alive right now. Well, maybe that's true for you and Agumon. Isn't it true for you too? I don't know. Lopmon is concerned about his relationship with Shuji. I know that, but there's no way I could know what to say that would help them. All I can do is say how I feel. Lopmon doesn't seem satisfied, but what else is there to say? Anyway, I'm gonna keep looking for Agumon. Cheer up, Lopmon. Cheer up, Lopmon. The double P. The rapid fire P in that. I don't know. Anyway. Sure, bye. Got a little tongue-tied. Floramon. Oh, man. Ooh, hello. There's a thingy. Ribs obtained. Another hidden thingy. That's Shadow. Oh, hey. Fighting time. Alrighty. Been a bit. Literally, I think like 2 whole episodes without any fighting. So, yeah, because there's going to be information in the corner where I normally keep my webcam. I can use 6, so I guess I'll use the partner Digimon. Definitely need to use Lopmon and Floramon a bit. So, anyway, hey, this gives me a chance to talk about things that have been going on in my life. So, earlier this week, at least as of recording this, I have, well, I took a test to, get, or at least to be eligible for licensing in, life insurance in the state of Texas. And passed the exam pretty decently. I only needed a score of 70 to pass, but I got an 85 on it. I don't know if those necessarily equate with percentages. I would be more confident in that were it not for the fact that it seemed like there were only really 90 questions on the test. So, yeah, But anyway, I passed. In pretty well, I might add. So then, earlier today, again, as of recording, I went and got fingerprinted because that's also required in order to actually be registered to, I don't want to say sell life insurance because I'm not even going to be selling it per se. I'm going to be just with this job I'm kind of starting to do on the side. I'm not directly selling anything. I'm basically just talking with people about their financial situations, seeing, you know, where they are and where they want to be, and making recommendations based on that. Now, the overall strategy of the company I'll be doing this through is, you know, start off by focusing on life insurance, because you know, basically it's like disaster prevention, for lack of a better way to put it. At least, you know, within their approach. Because, like, you can make all the plans you want, but especially being a Christian, I know that, like, God doesn't work the same way that we do. So at any given moment, we may end up, you know, leaving this world. Anything could happen to where we would die, and like any plans that we've made are basically null and void when that happens. Or at least they're certainly out of our hands. Not that they're ever, like, you know, solely on us, but I digress. So, the basis of the strategy is, you know, go with life insurance first, because if anything bad and unexpected happens, then at least, you know, you've prepared for the worst and left some sort of possible, you know, financial safety net for your family or whoever you feel might need the support. So, you know, you build around that, and then you start tackling the other financial issues. So, I mean, some of it includes kind of debt resolution strategies, which is definitely, like, in terms of financial security, that's probably the next key thing that I would think should be focused on. Because when you're in debt, you know, you're pretty much obligated to regularly make payments toward that debt until you're no longer in debt. And of course, those obligations make it more difficult to do other things that you would maybe want to do. So get rid of the debt, and then look at, you know, investing and other things like that. But again, they base, you know, the focus, at least to start with, is on life insurance. So, getting licensed in that was pretty much step one to, you know, my ability to really do this at any significant level. Anyway, okay, back to game conversations. Huh? What's going on, Takuma? I was looking for you guys since you all disappeared. Well, we didn't exactly coordinate anything. Maybe the others are in the woods? I heard Agumon shouting and chasing something. Chasing what? Beats me. Are you by yourself, Floramon? What's it look like to you, Takuma? It looks like you're on your own. Aha, yes, how very observant. I came here all by myself. Hey, are you teasing me? I don't know, what do you think? Why do I feel like she's not giving me a straight answer? She's so hard to read. Could she be hiding something? Maybe she's a spy? No, I can't let myself start questioning my friends. But... I would not ask, are you a spy? I would either say, let's head back, or what are you doing? And given the way that I'm just, you know, aiming to lean, at least with this playthrough. What are you doing out here all by yourself? What? Can't a girl have her privacy? How dare you? Would you just give me a straight answer? It's a serious question. You're the one who decided to abandon the group and go off on your own. Honestly, you're surprisingly uptight, you know that? Now, what was the question? What am I doing out here? I'm... eating. Snacking? How to put this? I like bathing in sunlight, and the air and soil are fresh here. What? So, this is some kind of nature therapy? Yes, nature therapy, that's it. I was recovering in the fresh air and sunlight. Oh, is that all? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have doubted you. It's alright. Besides, now you know a little more about me. Hang on. Anyway, I'm all set now. I think I'll head back. You go on without me, Takuma. You'll be alright on your own? Better than you will be. Besides, weren't you looking for Agumon? Oh, right. You said you think he's in the forest? Thanks, I'll check it out. Take care. So, given that it's Floramon, implying, you know, flower, plant, thing, was that kind of, sort of implying like a photosynthesis thing going on there? Because she mentioned kind of like, you know, eating in the sunlight. Anyway. Alright, hopefully after this particular thing, maybe there will be some actual voice acting and I can give my own voice a rest. I can't believe this is where everybody went. Hey, Agumon, where are you going? I'm not going anywhere. Look, there's something here. Hey, what are you all doing? Oh, Takuma, this way. Why are all of you out here? I just got this feeling like something was there. Something like what? Eh? Be on your guard, everyone. There's definitely something there. What? What is it? I can smell something. We have to be careful. You know what it is? No, I'm telling you to be careful because I don't know. Whatever it is, it's certainly a creature like us. But we can't say if it's friend or foe. See? Look over there. Something's rustling through the brush. Wait, don't get any closer. Could be dangerous. Let's watch from here. Suspicious thicket. Meh. I don't feel like talking to them right now. Let's just get a move on. Look, Takuma. There's something there. Whoa. Something just jumped out. Oh, it's a Gomamon. What's with that thing? Are you sure it's not going to attack? It appears wary of our presence. Look, it's hurt. Maybe that's why it's upset. It's been glaring at us this whole time. What should we do, Takuma? Shouldn't we treat its wound? That's probably why it's so agitated. You're so kind, Takuma. You sound just like Aoi. Are you sure? That creature's wounded. It might try to fight back. It looks scared of us. Maybe it's the injury. I'm sure it'll see we mean no harm if we take it slow and steady. It's just healing animation. And Gomamon joined the party! Hey! Alright, so now I've got a Gomamon in here. Anyway, so hang on for a sec. So, just because of the download version of this or whatever, I got Growlmon for free. I think Betamon might have been the one that we got from the walkthrough. And so then there was Gomamon for sure that we got. I can't remember for sure if Gazumon and or Gatsumon were obtained through just like a quote-unquote forced event, or maybe it's just because they were the only ones in the battles that I've done so far that I could actually, you know, bring along with the party. I don't know. Anyway. Saving. Okay. Back to the old school for a big event thing, I guess. And the voice acting's back.
Agumon, 戻ってきたか。
大変大変、すっごいの見つけた。
すっごいの？
Yeah, exactly. What?
なんかね、大きくてビヨーンってしてて、とにかく
Big and shiny.
大きくてビヨーン？
なんだっけ、ファルコモンが言ってたんだけど。あ、そうだ。電波塔だ。
電波塔？あ、電波塔か。
Radio tower. I quickly got everyone together, and they were all thrilled by Agumon's discovery.
電波塔っていうくらいだから電波が届いてるよな。そこまで行けばスマホが使えるんじゃね？
Yeah, and maybe, you know, there won't just be weird, garbled text messages going through.
そこはどれくらいの高さなんだ？
すっごく高い。
ファルコモンも見たんだよな。大体でいいからどれくらいの高さかわかるか？
ふむ、比較物がないから正確にはわからないが、遠目で見た限りでもこの校舎より大きかったな。
Okay.
そんだけでかけりゃ間違いなく電波塔だな。
設備は生きているのかしら？
それはわからない。そもそも我々は電波塔がどういうものかも知らないからな。
行ってみればわかるでしょう。ひょっとしたら誰かいるかもしれないし。
Strange how, like, you know, these Digimon have lived in this area for we don't even know how long before the arrival of the main characters, and there's still all these things that they're unfamiliar with.
そうね。ここで話しててもしょうがないわ。それじゃあ山登りね。頑張りましょう、葵。山登り？そうよ。あれ？言ってなかったかしら。電波塔は森を抜けた先の峠を越えて山のてっぺんにあるわ。
森を抜ける？冗談じゃない。探索は反対だと言っただろう。ただでさえ怪物がさまよっているのに。
Yeah, I'm not surprised he would say that.
僕たちだけじゃ無理だ。ここに残るべきだ。
修二、怒らないで。
うるさい。お前は黙ってろ。
無駄だ。何したって意味ねえよ。
And there's Ryo just mumbling to himself.
そうは言いますけどね、修二先輩。言ってみなきゃ何も変わらないっしょ。子供だけで何ができるんだ。大人の救援が来るのを待つしかないじゃないか。
来るわけねえだろ。
そうよ、来ないって修二さんだって言ってたじゃん。
言ってない。それを口にしたら本当に来ないかもしれないじゃないか。
Even knowing there wasn't much chance of a rescue, none really, Shuji still hoped.
私も一緒に行くわ。ラブラもついてきてくれる？もちろんよ、
Well, Aoi seems to have changed her mind.
おい、葵君もここに待機して様子を見るのに賛成じゃなかったのか。
葵。もし電波塔でスマホが使えるようになれば、先生やみんなに連絡がつくかもしれない。
助けを呼べる。
そうなればあとは救助を待つだけです。修二さん、それでもまだ探索は反対ですか？
Yeah, that would make it way more likely that they could actually get
これ
rescued.
で行く派が過半数超えたんじゃない？
僕も電波塔は気になる。もちろん行くよ。これで僕、ミノル、サキ、葵さんの4人が行く派だね。で、どうします？修二先輩。だが、しかし。
Shuji must really not want to go back out there if he's still not convinced. If only there were some way to win him over. Why was he so opposed to exploring, or sorry, to exploration again? Either he's worried about getting lost or attacked. I mean, maybe running low on food, but I would figure those are the main concerns. And he stated the danger more than anything else. So I'm gonna go with that answer.
アグモン、そこに行くまでに襲ってきそうな敵とか危ないやつはいなかったか？
大丈夫。僕たちも襲われたりしなかった。
私の鼻もあの辺から変なやつの匂いは感じなかったわ。
Unless you count that Gomamon.
危なくないってこと？じゃあ全然 OK じゃん。
そうなのか？本当に？それならまあ、やれやれ。そこまで言われたら反対する理由もないな。
じゃあ皆さんいってらっしゃい。いっ
Or he's just like, okay, bye.
てらっしゃい。
何言ってんだよ、ハル、ミユキ。二人とも一緒に行くからな。二人っきりでここにいてもまた敵が来るかもしれないだろ。第一、ハルにもミユキにも相棒の怪物がついていないじゃないか。
危ない目には合わせないぞ。
僕も守るぞ。
すぐに便乗するんだからこの子は。アグモンはいっつもこんな感じなのよ。
あ、りょう先輩はお留守番頼みますね。待てよ、俺だけ置いてくなよ。行くよ、行きゃいいんだろ。
何よ、りょうったら協調性もないくせに一人は嫌なんだ。
いいっていいって。あれでやっといつもの寮に戻れたんだ。このところおかしかったけど、あいつは嫌味や悪態ついてるくらい。
Supposed to be bitter and crabby. Supposed to meaning just that, like, that's the way he normally is. Anyway. Following directions from Agumon and the others, we emerge onto a mountain path.
校舎から近いところにこんな場所があったなんて。神社のある森のあたりをほんの少し左に抜けただけなのに。
We're a big group and Haru's a little kid, but we still made it in under an hour.
この崖、斜面がずっと下まで続いてるわ。傾斜は緩いけど、転んだら谷底まで落ちてしまいそう。あ、見て、大きい橋がある。
Hey, a bridge.
うわー、大きい橋だな。僕、
またその話？飽きないわね。何の話？アグモンのなりたいものの話よ。
うん、僕もあんな風に大きくなりたいんだ。
ですって。ほんと、あなたたちってその辺不思議よね。タクマもそう思わない？
うん。アグモンたちが不思議なのはそこに限った話じゃないけど。
Right?
それもそうだわ。存在そのものが不思議だったわ。
それほどでも。
Kind?
別に褒めてないからね。
That wasn't a compliment.
フローラモンたちと仲良くしてたからつい忘れがちだったけど、この子たちって何なんだろうな。
Yeah. That's the kind of question I wish the professor were here to answer. Not that I can say that in front of Saki. So I assume we continue along the path, going in the general direction of the bridge.
りょう、大丈夫か？
こんなとこで襲われたら今度こそ死ぬ。
ここら辺に危なそうな感じはないから大丈夫だぞ。
うるせえ、こっち来んな。俺なんてどうだっていいだろう。ほっといて先に行けよ。
そうはいかない。僕たちは誰一人欠けるわけにはいかないんだ。教授のためにも僕はうん、僕だって同じ気持ちなんだよ。放っておけるわけないって。
Not that it seems like you have much choice. Every time you try to go off and do something and think he might want to just be alone, he ends up deciding, nope, I'm coming with you. Anyway, I don't want to lose another person the way we lost the professor. And now he's back to mumbling under his breath again. At least he's keeping pace. Hopefully that's a good sign.
ずいぶん歩いたが、電波塔はこの山の上なんだよな。
間違いないぞ。
あれ？ねえ、あそこに誰かいるよ。あれって。
カイトじゃん。
Oh, Kaito!
本当か？
よかった。無事だったのね。
But someone else is there too.
カイトだけじゃない。一緒。
Accidentally cut off the dialogue a little bit. Oh well.
おい、てめえ、ミュウをどこにやった？ 正直に答えねえとどうなるかわかんねえぞ。
はあ、だから何度も言ってるけど答える義理なんてないって言ってるでしょ。
上等だこら。
カイト。
ああ、
カイト、よかった、無事だったんだな。
お前ら手伝え。こいつは
助けてください。
え、
この人にいきなり大声で怒鳴られて、私何も知らないのに。
Right. Came out of nowhere.
ふざけるな。人間の姿をした化け物が。
カイト、やめるんだ。一体何があったんだ。
Oh, hello. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Drachmon, Kaito's partner. I'm Agumon, Takuma's partner. And I'm Takuma. Nice to meet you. Pleasure's all mine. Now I'd better explain why things are so messed up. Kaito and Mew were going through the forest together. Then Kaito went to scout ahead. He came back and Mew was gone, so we started looking for her. And this is where I come in. Drachmon offered to help me. Drachmon offered to help right away, so I knew he must be alright. Wow, that was kind of a snap judgment. Although I guess it worked out this time. Anyway, I started helping Kaito look for Mew, and then that human woman showed up. I don't know why I'm giving him like a halfway, like, almost mob gangster kind of voice, but whatever. That's just kind of the vibe I get. Even though he's called Drachmon, and you could easily kind of stereotyping, you know, just start thinking like, you know, Dracula, Transylvania sort of thing. But whatever. Yeah, you can't really sense her like you can the rest of us. True, but some of us can mask our presence, so I'm not sure you can go by that. So, what are you going by? Instinct. And I trust Kaito, which means I trust his instinct too. But is that really good enough? What if you're wrong? Then we can just apologize. Well, I guess that's one way of looking at it. Okay, so we've got... So we've got Kaito and this unfamiliar woman who are locked in some sort of argument. Okay. Let me see what the others think a little bit. What do you make of that woman? Why do you think she's arguing with Kaito? I have no idea. We'll just have to find out. Yes, asking about that sounds like a good place to start. Takuma, do you think you can handle this? What? Me? I'll go with you, of course, but I think you're the best one for the job. Can I count on you to take care of this? Okay, I'll do what I can. Good luck. Thanks. Saki, what do you think? What do you make of that woman? Why do you think she's arguing with Kaito? I have no idea. We'll just have to find out. Yeah, sounds about right. Well, ready to get to it, Takuma? You're coming too, right? You're not just putting this all on me, are you? What? No way. Well, it sounds like a huge pain to me. Count me out. Hey, no fair. If you're not going, then neither am I. Both of you come give me a hand. Anyway, alright, I'ma talk with Kaito. This woman just showed up and started talking to me. And she was holding Mew's purse. Oh yeah, what about Mew? You're right, I don't see her anywhere. Where is she? I don't know. We stayed together for a while. Then I left for 1 second and she was gone. That's awful. Then this woman comes out of nowhere with some of Mew's stuff. That does seem suspicious, but why call her a monster in disguise? Everything we've met so far has been a monster. What makes you think she's not? I'm not sure that's logical. You see, he's convinced, and I don't know what to do. I only spoke to him because he's the only soul I saw nearby. Well, what say you? Don't tell me you're buying that bull. Alright, let's talk with her. I was out walking not far from my house. Then suddenly I was surrounded by a strange fog, and the next thing I knew I was lost. Not just lost, I was somewhere I'd never been before, or seen before. I kept walking until I saw this boy. As for this purse, it was lying by the path. I was going to return it if I found the owner. Nothing about that sounds off to me. Me either. The fact that she even has Mew's purse is off. Kaito, relax. Could you please stay quiet for just a minute? The one thing that does seem strange to me is her ability to be safe without a monster. Monster? What do you mean, monster? Who are you calling a monster? Oh my. Well, what could that be? That seemed more like an act than actual surprise. But maybe I'm overthinking it. Rio random yelling. What is it, Rio? Mommy. Excuse me? Oh, she reminds me of my mother. She's a good person, I'm sure of it. Right. Oh, now is when talking to other people actually progresses things. Good grief. This is going to take a while at this rate. I may actually have to kind of end things there time-wise. Of course, eventually, if I keep this going, it'll just roll into the next... That's one thing I kind of have a problem with when it comes to actually, like, you know, doing a live/online playthrough of this game, is that it really, like, it just keeps going. Like, there's always stuff to do. Very few points that actually seem like decent stopping points where you're not breaking up the action. So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that for now, and next time, we'll try and get other people's thoughts on this situation. So, alright, that also means in regards to the stream, that is gonna do it for Digimon Survive. Oh, man. But, yeah. So where do I have the affinities at right now? Aoi's at 24, Minoru 26. Still don't have anything for Shuji, which is not ideal, but oh well. We just encountered Kaito, so haven't had a chance at that. His picture now shows Dracmon in there, though. Ryo's affinity is at 36. Like, why is his going up so much faster than everybody else's? Mew's off somewhere completely unknown. Anyway. Okay, I'm gonna have to save it here. Alright. And then I gotta shift my setup over back to the other way to do one last bit of Bible study to wrap this up. So give me a minute. Okay. Sorry if that break was slightly longer than anticipated. I've been doing a lot of talking in this stream, and so I just wanted to get a little something to help with my throat. That's one thing I will be glad about when I'm done playing through Digimon Survive, because then I won't have to be doing my own voice acting during gaming sessions so much. Especially going back to Darksiders 2, I can mostly let the action speak for itself, and the cutscenes. Did I say Darksiders 2 specifically there, or any specific one? I don't know. Going back to the Darksiders series. Anyway, Okay, so yeah, gonna wrap it up with one last bit of Bible study, and then that'll be it for this particular stream. So yeah, let's get this rolling. All right, so we've got Exodus 30 lined up, and so we had stuff about the tabernacle, and then the priests, and like not only what they were supposed to wear, but how they were to be dedicated to the priesthood. And now we've got another, what seems to be kind of a mix of other things related to the tabernacle and some of the ceremonies and procedures that would happen there. So anyway, let's hop right in. Exodus 30. Then make another altar of acacia wood for burning incense. Make it 18 inches square and 36 inches high, with horns and covers carved from the same piece of wood as the altar itself. I think I read the 2 at the start of the verse and almost like transposed that into... Anyway. Overlay the top, sides, and horns of the altar with pure gold, and run a gold molding around the entire altar. Make 2 gold rings and attach them on opposite sides of the altar below the gold molding to hold the carrying poles. Make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. Place the incense altar just outside the inner curtain that shields the Ark of the Covenant from in front of the Ark's cover, the place of atonement, that covers the tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant. I will meet with you there. There being where the altar is going to be placed, or where the Ark of the Covenant's kept, because God has mentioned previously, at least, that it should be basically where the Ark of the Covenant is kept, or at least that's where his presence would be. So we've had one altar that's made for sacrifices. This one is for burning incense. The one for the sacrifices is, I think, out in like the courtyard area, essentially, of the tabernacle. This seems like it's going to be in the holy place, but not the most holy place. So like it says, just outside of where the Ark of the Covenant is kept. Footnote here is probably just about the dimensions in the original Hebrew. Yeah. Footnote here, Ark of the Covenant or the testimony. Same thing there. Replace covenant with testimony. The reason I brush over those is because those have come up multiple times in prior chapters. Alrighty. Moving on, verse 7. Every morning when Aaron maintains the lamps, he must burn fragrant incense on the altar. And each evening when he lights the lamps, he must again burn incense in the Lord's presence. This must be done from generation to generation. Do not offer an unholy incense on this altar, or any burnt offerings, grain offerings, or liquid offerings. Once a year, Aaron must purify the altar by smearing its horns with blood from the offering made to purify the people from their sin. This will be a regular annual event from generation to generation, for this is the Lord's most holy altar. So, I wonder what unholy incense would be. I don't know, it's just a thought that came to my mind, and I'm curious what exactly that would even mean. But anyway, I'm not going to speculate because I don't know. But incense is supposed to be offered just outside the Holy of Holies where the Ark of the Covenant's kept. And I don't know if the assumption here is that, you know, the burning of it in the morning would last until the burning of it in the evening, or if it's just like, you know, there are these particular times when it's supposed to be done. I don't know. Anyway, footnote here. Purify could also be read as make atonement for. But, like, atonement is usually thought of more as, you know, a cleansing of sin, if anything. So, like, it sounds odd, possibly, to say make atonement for the altar. Because, like, the altar is sinful and has done anything wrong. So, I don't know. But I guess it's just, you know, going back to the original Hebrew, that could also be another meaning for it. Anyway, moving on to verse 11. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Whenever you take a census of the people of Israel, each man who is counted must pay a ransom for himself to the Lord. Then no plague will strike the people as you count them. Each person who is counted must give a small piece of silver as a sacred offering to the Lord. This payment is half a shekel, based on the sanctuary shekel, which equals 20 gerahs. All who have reached their 20th birthday must give this sacred offering to the Lord. When this offering is given to the Lord to purify your lives, making you right with him, the rich must not give more than the specified amount, and the poor must not give less. Receive this ransom money from the Israelites and use it for the care of the tabernacle. It will bring the Israelites to the Lord's attention, and it will purify your lives." So, half a shekel. This is actually, it uses the Hebrew, I guess, because it's just an awkward amount given other, you know, units of weight. Or certainly the American weight is just awkward. 0.2 ounces? Like, nah, just call it what it is. Shekel is the original term anyway, so, but this is them giving the approximation of other weight measurements. So when this offering is given to the Lord to purify your lives, making you, like, it's interesting that the offering is considered purifying, like the monetary offering. I mean, I guess there are other offerings that are considered, you know, purifying or, you know, for their atonement. So I guess in that context, it's not, like, too weird to think about. But still, most of the time, we don't think of monetary offerings as purifying in any way. But I guess it could be, you know, a little bit of showing dedication and gratitude to God, and just other things that show that the people are not so, like, obsessed with their money that they're not willing or able to give this particular offering to God each year. And it's only each year. So, although the value of it, not totally sure. But it's definitely not, like, massive. Anyway, footnote here: to make atonement for your lives rather than making you right. Yeah. And the footnote there just says tent of meeting instead of tabernacle. Okay. So, also noting that, like, it's just a specified amount across the board. It's like, is flat tax the right equivalent term to use? It's one of those things where, like, I don't know if tax is even the right word, but it's, it's like having a price for something that is consistent no matter who you are, as opposed to something like where it's a percentage given, like other things that have been mentioned so far in the Bible. Anyway, alrighty, gonna move on to verse 17 here. Then the Lord said to Moses, make a bronze wash basin with a bronze stand. Place it between the tabernacle and the altar, and fill it with water. Aaron and his sons will wash their hands and feet there. They must wash with water whenever they go into the tabernacle to appear before the Lord, and when they approach the altar to burn up their special gifts to the Lord, or they will die. They must always wash their hands and feet, or they will die. This is a permanent law for Aaron and his descendants, to be observed from generation to generation. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense that they need to wash themselves and, sort of make themselves clean before they're essentially going into God's presence and, doing their priestly duties, sort of representing God and, his forgiveness, his, atonement, his whatever, as they do those priestly things. So it says, but between the tabernacle and the altar, which altar? Because there are two altars. So, like, is this going... It would make sense to me that this would be out in the courtyard kind of area before getting into the holy place. Because, it's a holy place. Got to clean yourself before you go to a holy place. That just makes sense. So, yeah, anyway. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's what seems to make the most sense in my mind, anyway. And with that, we move on to verse 22. Then the Lord said to Moses, collect choice spices, 12.5 pounds of pure myrrh, 6.25 pounds of fragrant cinnamon, 6.25 pounds of fragrant calamus, and 12.5 pounds of cassia, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. Also get 1 gallon of olive oil. Like a skilled incense maker. Sorry, I've got license stuff on the brain. Recent life events. Anyway. Like a skilled incense maker, blend these ingredients to make a holy anointing oil. Use this sacred oil to anoint the tabernacle, the Ark of the Covenant, the table and all its utensils, the lampstand and all its accessories, the incense altar, the altar of burnt offering and all its utensils, and the wash basin with its stand. Consecrate them to make them absolutely holy. After this, whatever touches them will also become holy. Anoint Aaron and his sons also, consecrating them to serve me as priests. And say to the people of Israel, this holy anointing oil is reserved for me from generation to generation. It must never be used to anoint anyone else, and you must never make any blend like it for yourselves. It is holy, and you must treat it as holy. Anyone who makes a blend like it or anoints someone other than a priest will be cut off from the community. Okay. I mean, it seems like a rather particular blend, so it seems like it would have had to be intentional for somebody to imitate that blend. But also, I wonder why this particular mix of things. Footnotes. So I guess 500 shekels of myrrh, 250 of fragrant cinnamon and calamus, which would also seem to be 500 shekels of cassia. And the gallon of olive oil, Hebrew says 1 hin, which is about 3.8 liters, which, yeah, that's right near a gallon, I think. I mean, I don't recall the exact conversion off the top of my head, but I know a gallon is 3 point something liters. So if that's what a hin is, then yeah, close enough. So that sacred oil was for anointing the tabernacle, the Ark of the Covenant, the table, the lampstand, incense altar, both of the altars. Okay, that's, I don't know why for a second I blanked and I was like, wait, were both of the altars included in this? Yes. So basically the tabernacle and all of its related items were supposed to be anointed with that particular oil. Or, yeah, I guess it was still anointing oil. Even if the spices weren't originally part of the oil, but they're mixed with olive oil. Anyway, I digress. Okay. About time to wrap this up, I suppose. Depending on what's in this last section. Verse 34. Then the Lord said to Moses, gather fragrant spices, resin droplets, mollusk shell, and galbanum, and mix these fragrant spices with pure frankincense, weighted out in equal amounts. Using the usual techniques of the incense maker, blend the spices together and sprinkle them with salt to produce a pure and holy incense. Grind some of the mixture into a very fine powder and put it in front of the Ark of the Covenant, where I will meet with you in the tabernacle. You must treat this incense as most holy. Never use this formula to make this incense for yourselves. It is reserved for the Lord, and you must treat it as holy. Anyone who makes incense like this for personal use will be cut off from the community. Okay, so maybe this is the holy incense that was referred to earlier when talking about the incense for the altar. And then any other type of incense is not holy incense. So this was specifically what was to be used. Anyway. But there's a footnote in here, I thought. Just Ark of the Covenant saying the testimony instead. So both with the anointing oil and the incense, those were particular mixes that God established were only to be used for, holy things. Pretty much just for, the priest's duties and instruments and anything connected with the tabernacle. So, I mean, okay, yeah, sure. Being cut off from the community for making anything like it, I mean, it sounds a bit harsh, but it's kind of particular, so it's not like you could just sort of stumble upon making something like that. You would have to do it kind of intentionally. So with that in mind, it's kind of in a way specifically direct defiance of God. So in that case, yes, exile from God's people kind of is an apt punishment. But anyway, so I'm starting to wonder if we're about to wrap things up regarding like the tabernacle and, you know, all of its instruments and what happens in there and what it's made of and all that kind of stuff. But I guess we'll see next time. But yeah, anyway. Okay. Let me just... Okay, that was all I really had in mind to say regarding that. I don't have any other thoughts that I could really add. As much as I would love to kind of, you know, give a summary of all this. Like, there's such... I don't know. I guess they all somewhat involved, you know, cleansing to an extent, but still. Otherwise, they seem like kind of varied pieces. That it's like, you know? Is there really a decent way to sum all of that up? I don't know, anyway. That ought to make it a rather interesting and difficult chapter to figure out what to do with for the abridged Bible. Yes, that is still a thing. I know I've only done one video of it because that's, you know, all that I've gotten through in the Bible. I have not finished Exodus yet, clearly. So anyway, yeah, guess that is gonna do it for today's live stream. Thanks for watching, those of you who have. Yeah. Hopefully, you know, this will go back to being the regular thing. Anyway, if I'm completely honest, I'm still not 100% sold on whether I'm going to stick to doing my live streams here or on Twitch. You know, there's one way where it makes sense to have live streams here, and there's another way where it would kind of make sense to do them on Twitch. The main thing I don't like about Twitch, though, is that, like, they don't stay archived for long. It's like 2 weeks, I think. And so sometimes, by the time I get around to editing stuff from a stream, it turns out that, like, you know, if I had the stream on Twitch, by the time I get around to editing a video for that, and I think, oh, there was a particular thing from this that I might want to highlight on Twitch, like specifically set as a highlighted video, then the stream's gone. Anyway. Okay, so yeah. I guess with doing it on YouTube here, I can just take some of those separate little highlight snippets that I might want to have and set those aside as separate videos. Especially if they're short videos, then I could actually, you know, convert them to the official YouTube Shorts format and, you know, have that be a thing. Because shorts are apparently rather good for, you know, YouTube metrics and whatnot. Anyway, okay. That's it for now. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to look at socials down in the description and leave any comments that you have in mind. So, yeah. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you next week. I should be able to do this same time next week. I think things are kind of, you know, normalizing again in my schedule. But whatever the case is, till next time, stay cool, people.